Usually I start my painting with the eyes. If eyes are looking good for me, so I'm going to work on the eyes. You know, you probably see many videos, and as many artists you have seen on the videos, they have own techniques, own rules, whatever, all own tips. So this is just mine. That's what I like to start with the eyes. If you look at the painting, the original painting, her eyes very lit up. She has a blue eyes, but here seems like a green. Why it is? Because a lot of warm color around the eyes and reflection from her sweater, from her hair, from environment. So her eyes look like a little greenish, which is very pretty. And I use as many colors I can find in the eyes, observing. Observation is #1 for artists. If you carefully observe, take your time to observe the photograph or the person you work with, and then you place your colors and create your transition from the light to the shadow or colors transition. So I'm going to start with the eyes with a round brush, #1. So before I start, I'm going to use yellow ochre and a little white, and I'm going to be underpaint where the light is going like that. Very roughly, so don't worry. I'm using rags to wipe my brush if it's too much. So I'm going like that. Then I made in a little titanium white, make it lighter, like this. Then another eye, it looks like a cat eye. Oh my god. So that I'm going just to underpaint that. Then I'm going to paint a little bit ivory black and blue. I don't like use just black itself because it's just too much, and when it's dry it seems like it's dull. Right now it looks very prominent. So I'm going to tone it down later. Oops. So when you do this, oops, you just wipe it a little bit, or just ignore, you can paint over. So that's eyes. Then I'm going to put the whites of the eyes. Whites of the eyes, it's sort of, you can mix the skin tone, which is yellow ochre, or you can Naples, I'm using Naples yellow, and add a little, cool it down, a little ultramarine. French ultramarine or ultramarine blue, it's pretty much the same. So I'm going to put that together, which is giving you, if it's too dark, you're adding, of course, a little white. So you're going like that, and it's too dark, so don't worry, be happy. Just put that white and just balance that, okay? Seems like you don't see the difference right now, but it will when you put the skin tone on it, around the eye, so that you put in whites of this, and it's all should be. I'm going to add a little dioxazine purple, just a touch to that, because the portrait should be, if you work with a photograph, the portrait should be much more creative with the colors, and you're making art, not copying. No way you're copying photograph. You're copying photograph only for purpose likeness. But if you copy too much of the light and shadow of a photograph, you're making mistakes, and it's going not really work for you then. So you just take your time. See those yellow eyes, which is already seems like fill up with light. Fill up with light. Now I'm using black, ivory black, and ultramarine, because Dasha, her name is Dasha, she was 2 years old, and she had blue eyes, and I'm doing that only on the top, because the upper eyelid dropping shadow on Dasha's eyes from the top. So I'm making shadow right there. Very gentle shadow. No highlight yet. No highlight, but just very rough study. It's like a sketch you're doing it. It's just a sketch of study the eyes. So I'm doing that. I'm looking at the portrait. And you know what I tell you? I'm copying the old portrait which I painted several years ago of Dasha. And as many portraits you make from the same photograph, they're going to look different. Because you grow as an artist, you have a different vision from each portrait. The same even portrait you paint, you have, now you learn something and you have different vision of that. So now I'm going manganese, what a name. I'm going manganese blue to start bluing her eyes right there. And you need just, I like to top color on a color, just build up the value and colors. I don't like to use just, or to see one color or even two colors. It's so boring. So I'm going just to use now manganese and French ultramarine and go make more depths under the eyelid right there. And then just go in short brush strokes with a round brush. Number one, just build up the value. Okay. Now I'm going to use right now a cadmium yellow light to the low highlights of Dasha's eyes. Right there. Building up the colors and value. Now I'm going just for myself, it's maybe too early but it's okay. I'm going to add some titanium white and blue, ultramarine blue, just a little blue and lots of white to put the highlight. Highlight on her, it's like 1 o'clock, not enough, so I'm putting more white right there. And it's white, it's not enough because it's not enough dark around highlights. Where you put in place in your highlights, it should be the darkest value. Look at that. They are staring at you, and wherever you're going in the room, they are going to follow you. That's the technique. So now I'm starting to build up more value again with the ivory black, with its very gentle black, very transparent, and also adding a little ultramarine. Going again right there, very short brush stroke, be gentle around highlight, and here too, very nice. Because she is outside, her pupils are small. It's like, you know, when you're outside a lot of light, pupils are reducing the size, and it's natural, very natural. So I'm putting that.